Attention everyone, the RawCast Live is now in session. Please get to your seats of assignment and get ready for another Yap Fest from your hosts, Raw Tactics and True Blue 77. Please keep your hands away from the lobotomites and enjoy the show.
Guys, welcome back, welcome home. We are back for yet another RawCast. As always, I'm Raw Tactics, joined by my man, True Blue. Blue, how are you, sir?
I'm excellent, man. How are you doing? I'm very happy to be here. Hyped to start talking about everything regarding Monolith, Atomfall, zombies, Terminators, you name it. So yeah, I just want to say to everyone in the chat, everyone listening in, hope you are having a great morning, great afternoon, good evening.
Good to see you, Mr. Void, Mr. Patty. As always, pleasure to see you guys. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, my bad about the intro, Patty. Hopefully you guys were able to hear that thing okay. Guys, we got a whole lot of stuff to cover today. But first, Blue, what you been playing lately?
Not that much, if I'm being honest with you. It's always been, I just kind of go back to Fallout 4. I keep saying this every RawCast really. I go back to Fallout 4, settlement building, mods, you know the score, and I've just been doing that for a good chunk of the past couple of days, to be honest. So yeah, I've just been playing Fallout 4, and I just, you know what, I am obsessed with the modding side of it. I just like, you know, being able to manipulate the game, do little things that I prefer. You know, have personal preferences in terms of weaponry, armor, all that sort of stuff, and the settlement building itself. But yeah, I've been playing Fallout 4. Not much else. What about yourself?
I get that. I'm ready to get back to Fallout 4. I just gotta spend another few hours getting my mods set up. So it's been holding me back. But you already know, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. My God, bro. We have like,
Of course.
we have like 88.4 hours in that game so far, and I still have not completed the main quest. I'm loving every minute of it though, man.
That's a good sign of a good RPG. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure. We got Coma in the building, Zalius. Good to see you guys in here too. Mr. Void, if I didn't say hello already. Of course, the living legend. Mr. Patty Dunn did it. Yeah, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I actually played a round of Call of Duty Zombies yesterday, like one real quick 30-minute session for the first time in months. Really enjoyed that. I'm thinking about bringing that back to the channel for a little bit. Hopefully my man Hatchet Man will be available soon. Be able to hop on and play together on stream occasionally. If you guys are down with that, let me know in chat. Good to see you, Mr. Paudeny. I'm glad you found your way here, sir.
What's up, everybody in chat, by the way? Sorry to, I just want to say a quick hello to Patty, Paul, just the usual guys that are coming in. Who we got? We got Zalius in the building as well. Good stuff. I'm trying not to swear.
Alright, we're gonna get the bad news out the way first, right? Like, we're gonna start with the bad and work our way to the good. Guys, we are seeing the closure of yet another major hitting game studio. This one really completely blindsided me. Warner Brother Games own Monolith. They own Monolith Studios. So for those of you that don't know who Monolith Studios is, let me read off a few of the games that they're responsible for, just so you know who we're actually talking about. We're talking about the people that brought you Blood 2, the No One Lives Forever series, Alien vs. Predator 2. You're talking about Fear, Condemned, Middle Earth, like the people that own the Nemesis system in Middle Earth, the Lord of the Rings series. Those people, major, like, that is a money printing machine that Warner Brothers has, and the games industry is such a volatile place right now that they weren't even exempt from getting closed down.
I'm sorry to interrupt there, Robert. Some of the games that you just listed off there, I mean, a lot of them are very close to my heart, and it's really sad to see these guys closing down. I mean, the first game you mentioned, Blood, I mean, for me, that was like one of the, I got this on shareware, that's how old it was. 1997, first-person shooter for it. Like, it's best known for its dark humor and horror themes and stuff.
Right.
But I mean, it was a killer. But one game you mentioned that I completely forgot about, but had such a fun time with, was Condemned and
Yeah.
Condemned 2.
Yeah.
Brilliant, so good games. And then obviously you've probably arguably listed off probably their most polished and best game. I would say Fear, right?
Right.
Fear and Fear 2.
Without
I
a
think
doubt.
those were the best ones. I remember, and it's something we'll probably touch on. Well, we'll get into later about. We're going to be talking about AI, and I'm not talking about AI in terms of AI creations on social media and things like that. We're talking about AI in terms of NPCs and video games, that sort of thing. But sorry, I don't want to derail this. I just when you said Condemned, I was like, wow, that was a blast from the past, and it was such a great game. But then going on to Fear, released in Fear was 2005. I'm just looking at it now. But Fear 2, the horror elements of that game, so good, like that, for atmospheric tension and stuff like that, amazing. And that was another one that was kind of renowned for its AI. The soldiers and the way they would flank you and stuff like that, as well as the bullet time and the slow motion stuff. The guns, like the gunplay in that game was tremendous. I mean that was a game, and I think I've said this before. Like, when you're playing a game and you start like pouting your lips because it's that meaty. The gunplay's that good. You know what I mean? You're sticking your lips out and you're firing, and it's satisfying.
Right.
That was a game. That was one of those type of games, right?
Right. To clarify, Zalius, I'm not saying that these games are going to be gone or anything. I'm just saying the team that brought us these games, the people that were behind these games that developed them, that's who's getting obliterated right now. That's who's being wiped. But no, I'm with you, Blue. And like on the topic of AI, like the Nemesis system, they've been revolutionary with the AI implementations in gaming for a while. For those of you that don't know, they also are the ones that developed the Nemesis system for Middle Earth series. As a very brief summary of what that is, it was first introduced in Shadow of Mordor and became more complex with Shadows of War. It made enemies remember past fights, react to how battles played out, and even go stronger after defeats. That was a revolutionary thing in the games industry, and Warner Brothers currently owns that. And the only reason that they even own that is because of Monolith, the people that they're closing down right now. And like Paul was saying, it's been poor decision from the top, left, and right for a long time running now. I found a Reddit article where this person very briefly, they really summed it up perfectly. Despite Arkham being a massive success, Hogwarts Legacy selling 250% more than expected, Shadow of Mordor needing its microtransactions removed after negative feedback, Multiverses and Suicide Squad flopping, Warner Brothers are all in on live service and also pursuing mobile. It was discussing greed for Multiverses to not release for paying Japanese customers after the playtest, the expensive microtransactions and founders packs, and the lack of content result in 99.9% of the player base dropping off within a month, then shutting it down for this quote-unquote re-release. After the recent failures, I don't expect Warner Brother management to learn whatsoever, and they go on and on, just another example of them dumping millions of dollars into something and then pulling out on it. Wonder Woman. They have a Wonder Woman game that's been in development for a while. It's being claimed to be similar to the new God of War series in the way that it handles. And they were also rumoring the fact that maybe the Nemesis system is going to make a return in this because they've just been sitting on the Nemesis system. They patented it to where no other game company can implement anything like it. And then they don't do anything with it. They rumor that it may be coming back with Wonder Woman. And then they came out recently and said, nah, that was just rumor and speculation. We're not doing anything like that with Wonder Woman. Now they completely canceled Wonder Woman. And a little bit more behind the scenes of like what's actually going on right now. In 2018, Time Warner merged with AT&T, which was a terrible deal and it brought millions of dollars of debt. A few years later, AT&T spun off Time Warner, which then diverged into Warner Media, alongside their chunk of debt. Warner then merged with Discovery, which developed Warner Bros. Discovery. And the guy at the top making all these calls is just worried about the quick, immediate cash to pay off their debt, and it has been detrimental to this company. Obviously, the devs of Monolith are like now having to pay their price because of corporate greed that's going on right now. It really sucks to see Monolith getting good at. Yeah, exactly. Thought Hogwarts Legacy just secured. Bro, it did. It sold 256% more than they were even expecting it to. Hogwarts Legacy, that's another one. Like, Warner Brothers has all these crazy IPs and all this potential. Like, they really don't even have to do anything with some of these IPs that they have, you know? Like, they have money printing IPs. If you just copy and paste another Batman Arkham game, it's money. You know, like,
Can I just
that is money.
can I just jump in? Sorry, Rod. Just uh, Zalius said something like really interesting, caught my eye in chat, and he's saying Blood is secure. They're not owned by Monolith. Atari has theirs. That's really interesting if true. I mean, I'll back you with this. Hopefully, you're not filling us full of doo doo, but yeah. I mean, that's really interesting. And I'm just reading a comment below. When Warner Bros. Acquired Monolith Productions, they didn't get every IP Monolith worked on. The studios, yeah, but a lot of the devs from the studios aren't even in the industry anymore or working
Yeah.
elsewhere. Elsewhere, sorry. So that's really interesting to me. That's cool. So Blood is secure. Thank God.
Yeah, that's what I was responding to him earlier. When I was saying that we're not saying that these games are going to be gone or anything. It's just the company that brought you all these games is unfortunately not going to be a thing anymore. That really sucks, man. It's just another domino in this non-stop collapsing games industry.
Yep.
It feels like we are on the brink of like another video game collapse of the 80s.
Yeah, it's criminal. We never got another Condemned 3 as well, Zalius. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just going back to what I was talking about, it's like I loved the Condemned 1 and 2. I love the combat. The fisticuffs he had in it, like one-on-one fighting and stuff like that. Really,
Right.
that was my memories, and it was brutal as well. You got the pipes and stuff like that. It was not a game for the faint-hearted. It was like a first-person sort of manhunt, if you like. It was brutal.
Yeah, I've played a bit of it. I think I showed it. I, no, I haven't shown that on stream. That is something we could definitely get to next time on the PlayStation 2 emulation stream. I could definitely play my hand of Condemned for a bit.
Yeah, nah, that'd be pretty cool to watch. To be fair.
Well, on a brighter note, the Fallout TV show actually had a leak a little bit ago. I think we missed that on the last RawCast, but I'm gonna catch you guys up to speed. We do have a little bit of information. Fallout Season 2 takes place in New Vegas. Obviously, they ended the first season with that. But there were some leaks. Welcome to the fabulous New Vegas sign and the Tops Hotel and Casino entrance were actually leaked recently. Behind the scenes footage. I will throw this up on screen in just a second. Blue, are you excited for Season 2? You have watched the show, right?
Yeah. There was. Right, to start off with, I liked the show. I thought it was okay. It was good. Above average, let's just say. I'm a, you know what people in the chat already know what I'm kind of like when I'm quite I'm quite critical of things, and if they're not perfect or the attention to detail isn't there, then I will criticize it and go after it. But as a like. All in all, I thought it was good. I mean, it was good. There was a few things. I think we chatted about it, Rob. The whole, the power armor scene with the jetpack. That was
Yeah. Yeah.
that was one of the things that made me go, "Oh God, please no." But overall, I thought it was good. I thought it was there was a lot of stuff in there that was lore accurate. However, there was some controversy. Do you remember, like there was some stuff regarding Shady Sands and stuff
Right.
when it got destroyed and things like that. I don't want to get too much into it, but yeah, there was a bit of controversy involving that. But the second one, there was stuff that I expected to see in the first series. That I think will be introduced in the second series, like things like super mutants and things like that. You'll probably expect those to be in there. A few bits and bobs as well. Who can forget as well? We chatted about this before. Macaulay Culkin is going to be casted in this, right?
Wow,
He's
yeah,
going
I
to be
completely
a
forgot
character.
about that. He is supposed to be in
he's gonna be.
Season 2.
Yeah, he's gonna be a character of some sort, and my money's on some sort of. He's gonna be a scientist, isn't he? According to leaks. So, yeah, my money's on like a sort of Myron character from Fallout 2. So, yeah, that'd be interesting. And I think I reckon there'll be it'll revolve about him and Jet. I think Jet will be involved. This is just my, I'm just throwing it out there. I think that
Right.
might be what happens with Macaulay Culkin. He'll be maybe a creator of Jet, or maybe even FEV. Who knows? You know what I mean?
That'd be
That'd be quite
crazy.
interesting. That'd be crazy. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it, and I think what's the lead protagonist? Is it Emma? Is it Emma Purnell? I think that's.
Oh,
I think
Ella
that's her-
Purnell. Ella.
Ella, that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah, Ella. Yeah, I thought she was great. I thought she did a great role. You know what I mean? Oh my God, is Blue praising a female a female protagonist? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. It's definitely
Once
not as
in a
bad as
lifetime. Somebody clipped it.
Nah. You know I'm joking.
Yeah, I
My
know,
favorite my favorite movie in the world's Aliens, and it's got Sigourney Weaver as the lead protagonist. So there you go. There's my backup right there. However, I just wanted it was quite refreshing to see it being played correctly, as opposed to some of the stuff. I'm trying not to swear. Some of the stuff I don't want to go into The Last of Us, but some of the casting from The Last of Us again. Right, I'm going to stop because I'll get angry. But yeah, she was good as gold in that and performed really well. So yeah, all in all, I'm really looking forward to the second series.
Yeah, I'm curious. You were talking about super mutants and stuff. The Deathclaw skull at the end of the first season. I'm curious if they're actually gonna have any live Deathclaws in there because I mean that was a staple in New Vegas. Deathclaws were
Yeah.
such a part of the game. Like Fallout 3, they were kind of tucked away off to the side for the most part. You'd see like a one or two here and there, but in New Vegas, like they ran in packs. They had certain locations, like obviously Quarry Junction was completely overrun with them. Yeah.
Yeah. See, like, shall we just talk about Deathclaws in general, right? Because well, we've got to talk about one of your previous streams with that. Was it Kazaclaw? Holy heck, what are those things?
Yeah,
Those
crazy.
things are they're just insane. That's what they are. They're just crazy. But you haven't played Fallout 1 or 2, right? Just correct me if I'm wrong, Raw.
Right. Seen them, not played them though.
Seen them, not played them. See Deathclaws in Fallout 1 and 2. If one of those, like, they were disgustingly overpowered. Like, if you encountered one of them, you were dead. Like, honestly, you were messed up. And you could also just I know a lot of people have probably played Fallout 1 and 2. I can't remember. I think it's Fallout 2, but you can actually recruit a Deathclaw companion. Do you know that?
You get. Oh yeah. That was Fallout 2, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
So like, but he was in like robes, if I remember correctly. I forget his name, but he was there. But there was a vault. If I remember right, I'm just trying to cast my memory back. But there was a vault that had all Deathclaws in there, and it was wiped out by Frank Horrigan and the Enclave. That was Fallout 2. I'll need to do my research on that again because it's like, again, my memory's quite vague on it. But I do remember being in a vault. But yeah, Deathclaws in Fallout 1 and 2, they were just insane, man. Like, if you come across them, yeah, you were dead. Like, unless you had power armor. If you had power armor and a Gatling laser or something like that, yeah, you were in trouble.
Well,
But
like
yeah,
the beginning of Fallout 4, right?
Yeah.
Throw his head in.
And that's what I didn't like. Good point, actually. Sorry, Raw, to interject, but that's a good point because they were like Deathclaws were like introduced sort of mid to later game, whereas having a Deathclaw in Fallout 4, that was the first mission, like Concord stuff, wasn't it? The what do you call it when you get the vertibird and stuff?
Yeah, going up to the Museum of Freedom, it's right there, like within the first 30 minutes of the game. They're throwing you in. They already got power armor, minigun, like fighting in-game enemies. Like, what is that?
I hated that. That was a bad decision for me. Deathclaws should be able to absolutely destroy you and wreck you. And Fallout Helper, thank you. The guy's name was Goris. Yes, so he had the cloak, the robe. Yep, that's brilliant.
Nice, very nice.
The Deathclaws in 4 looked good, but they felt severely underpowered.
Oh, who's
Yeah.
this guy? He just suddenly popped in
Yeah,
there.
I was about to do a proper
Hello,
intro, but
everybody.
welcome in. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever, we have a guest star on the RawCast. The man, the myth, the legend behind all of the artwork you see on stream, Mr. Paddy Don Diddy. Welcome in, brother. How you
Hey,
doing?
Paddy. Welcome in, Paddy. How you doing?
Thank you, everybody. I'm good. I just got back from work and happy to hop onto the RawCast and be a co-host.
Nice to have you here,
Lovely
bro.
stuff. Lovely stuff.
Yes, I'm right there with you though. I think we all kind of feel the same way. Like Fallout 4, the Death Claws, they made them. It's a joke. Like you don't have that same foreboding atmosphere around them that you had in Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas especially. Like they felt like a really formidable foe, and Fallout 4 just trivializes the entire thing. Like I said, putting you with in-game armor, in-game weapons, in-game enemies within the first 30 minutes of the game, and it's like, all right, well, kind of already climaxed. So where do we go from here?
See
Which is
the
weird because in the trailers they made them look like how they were originally, but then when you get in, they're almost just like lizards that
Yeah,
swat at you. They don't feel like these tanky beasts that charge up to you and swipe at you and you're dead. It felt like lizards.
yeah, that's my other big thing. Like I see what they were going for in a way, with the whole new movement mechanics and everything, but again, when it just makes them too easy. They get stuck in that long, like winding mechanic where they're kind of charging at you, but they're zigzagging back and forth, and it gives you more time to kill them.
see sorry to interject, Rod. See like the and you've touched on it quite briefly there, but you know the certain areas, particularly in New Vegas, it's Quarry Junction. Man, you don't want to go there.
Right,
Even as a
right.
high level character, right? The Death Claws there. I mean, there's so many different variants of them as well. It's like the Alpha and there's the Mama as well. She's there, and there's that also that little section where you collect the Remnant's power armor. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like a kind of cliff face that you need to traverse and get in there, and there's Death Claws everywhere. Kind of the same as Quarry Junction, but man, like if you like, if you see a Death Claw, you should be absolutely petrified in that game, right? You need to, regardless of how much ammo you've got, regardless of the armor you've got as well, man. I mean, like you said, Rod, Deathclaws should not be taken lightly, and how they handled it in Fallout 4 was, for me, was it was pretty bad. What was the other one? This is Fallout 4. I'm trying to remember. So it's you go to like a excuse me. Help me out, chat, as well. Just 'cause, again, I'm trying to remember this, but there was like a certain area in Fallout 4. You would go to a museum, and there'd be a badass Deathclaw in there. There was like what was the museum called? I'll Google it later and find out. But I'm sure chat will correct me. But there was like it's a museum of freedom or something like that. You would go there, but it was like a church or a museum. Correct me if I'm wrong. But there was a badass Deathclaw in there that you didn't want to mess with.
Yeah, the Deathclaw in the Museum of Witchcraft.
Yeah, the
That's
witchcraft.
it. That's it. The Witchcraft Museum. That's it. Yeah. So like Fallout 4 actually did it good there, because when I went in there and it came at me, I was like, oh, I was like, yeah, I'm running away. I'm off. Bye. Run away.
Thank you,
That's how
kind
they should
sir,
have
indeed.
done the introduction of Deathclaws. Like there shouldn't have been one in Concord in front of the Museum of Freedom that jumps out while you're in power armor with a minigun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
I agree.
And thank you, Mr. Boyd. Shout out to Boyd for that super fat Raw Tactics membership. And congratulations, Mr. Howell, a regular on the channel, always hopping in here first on the streams. GG, man. GG. Thank you, Boyd, as always. Guys, I think we need to go ahead and carry on to the next one. Blue, you want to real quick touch on that Terminator game? For those of you that haven't seen it, there is a new, an indie game coming out, Terminator related. I'm gonna pull it up on screen while you talk about it.
Yeah, this grabbed my attention, and I probably discussed it on chat at some point, but I'm a massive Terminator fan. I've loved Terminator from when I was a teenager and stuff like that. Terminator 1 and 2, probably they're up there in my favorite film categories. But yeah, this one grabbed my attention. So it's Terminator 2D, and it's Terminator 2D No Fate, it's called. And it's an up and coming licensed 2D scrolling action game developed by Bitmap Bureau. published by Reef Entertainment. So it's kind of indie game, scheduled for release on September 5th, 2025. The game will be available on, as you would expect, multiple platforms, including PlayStation 5, 4, Xbox, on PC, Nintendo Switch, all via Steam and Epic Game Store, all that good stuff. But, you know, like I said, I'm a massive Terminator fan, and the game aims to authentically recreate the iconic action sequences from the 1991 Terminator film Terminator 2. Judgment Day, delivering like nostalgic arcade experience reminiscent of that era. So players can choose to play as either the T-800, so you know the Terminator, or you can play as Sarah Connor, engaging in levels inspired by the classic titles such as games like Super Contra and Final Fight. You know, if anybody remembers those games. In addition to like trying to faithfully adapt scenes from the movie, No Fate will incorporate deleted and unfilmed segments, which is really, really cool for me as a Terminator fan, including the Future War. Now, I was obsessed with the Future War. You know, the Terminators, you know, the Resistance versus the Machines. I absolutely love that sort of stuff. But yeah, they're going to try and do that, incorporate that stuff. So it will do that, offering like fresh scenarios and multiple endings. Notably, players will face pivotal choices, such as deciding whether Sarah Connor should assassinate Miles Bennett Dyson. Now, I mean, who's not seen Terminator 2, specifically? But you know what I mean. Miles Bennett Dyson was the creator of Skynet, all that sort of stuff. So that will influence the game's stories. For me, that's that's a really cool storyline, and you having the influence to sort of make that decision kind of fascinates me. The visual representation from what I've seen features like detailed pixel art. It's like very indie, you know, but it's kind of cool, capturing the gritty atmosphere of the original film. Game mechanics are designed to provide fast-paced run-and-gun action, with players navigating through like various environments and confronting, formidable adversaries. And the development teams have expressed a commitment to delivering the Terminator 2 game that fans have long desired, blending like sort of classic gameplay elements with the new content to enhance replayability. So, you know, as a Terminator fan, I'm really, really interested in this. And in addition to Terminator 2D No Fate, another game, Terminator Survivors, is also in development by Nacon Studio Milan. And this is a survival game set to release on PC in 2025, with launches on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X. But yeah, I mean, the Terminator franchise, I mean, the last game I played, Terminator Resistance, was probably the last game, or the RTS game. I'm obsessed with these Terminator games, and I'm really looking forward to it, particularly, like I stated earlier, the fact that you can influence the ending. There's going to be multiple endings, stuff like that. But the one thing that I absolutely adore about the Terminator franchise is the future war scenes. And you know, the Resistance versus the Hunter Killers, the HKs, aerial HKs, the tanks and stuff like that. And I'm really looking forward to this. I mean, like Raw, Patty, what's your thoughts on what I just kind of outlaid there?
I grew up on Terminator. I used to absolutely love it. I have not seen a single Terminator movie in roughly 10 years or so. So to say I'm rusty is kind of a bit of an understatement. But I mean, I'm interested, you know. I'm probably gonna go back and rewatch some of the Terminator movies now that we've been talking about it. My wife loves watching movies. I think that would be a good one to get back into, kind of build up some hype for the game. I'm interested in it, to say the least. What about you, Patty?
I watched the gameplay that Raw put up, and the 2D Terminator game honestly looks really good. It looks like a retro arcade style game that, like the comment that somebody had posted with it, saying that it was like a SNES game that we never got, and that's what it looked like to me. So hopefully it's really cool. And the only Terminator game I've ever played was, I can't remember the name of it, but it was a multiplayer game where you could play as the human faction or the Skynet faction, and you could battle against each other, and that was like early 2000s. So
That was I think that was Future Shock, Terminator Future Shock, if I remember correctly.
That's crazy. I don't think I've even heard of that one.
Yeah, that was Bethesda. That was Bethesda, by the way. Just to let you know.
Really? That's there? Wow.
Todd. Yeah, that was one of Todd Howard's first, ventures into gaming. Actually, yeah, I recall that now.
Oh
So
yeah, Future
That's
Shock.
crazy.
It wasn't
Yeah.
that one though. It was a little bit later. But yeah, I remember Future Shock.
there was also another one that I played on the SNES, RoboCop versus Terminator. That was class, absolutely brilliant. That was good. It's like again what Patty just touched on, side-scrolling game. That was kind of like Contra. That was probably the best way to describe it. But it was RoboCop versus Terminators. So you played as RoboCop, and you were fighting all sorts of chaos on the streets and in the future. It was great.
Yeah, I agree with
Uh,
Zalius too. Well, I haven't played it, but I've heard nonstop good things about Terminator Resistance, Zalius.
yeah,
Bethesda
that
started
was.
with Terminator.
Sorry, Ron, I'm yapping away again. But Resistance had really good. It was like a first-person shooter, but it had nice RPG mechanics as well in there. Like there was little elements of it. And fun fact, it was the same guys that created the latest RoboCop game. They were the guys that did that.
Oh,
The
nice.
name escapes me, sorry, but yeah, they were the guys that did that. I'm just going to answer one of questions in chat. Sorry if you don't mind. True Blue, what do you think of Fallout 1 and 2 4K remaster? Nothing changed, but the graphics add retracing and 3K textures. Doesn't it graphic? I think I've said before, and I think Rob, I think we've had discussions about this, but the graphics aren't everything for me. I mean, I can
Right.
still play Fallout 1 and 2 and be absolutely satisfied. But a remaster and having better graphics, yeah, it's great. It's good, but for me, that's not a big. It's not very groundbreaking. It's not amazing. But to see them reimagined with like decent 4K graphics would be pretty cool, but not groundbreaking. That to answer your question there.
Some games should just be left in the past.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be upgraded.
Yeah,
Paul's saying RoboCop vs Terminator was based off the limited comic book series from the 90s. And guess what? I've got a lot of them.
RoboCop versus Terminator. That sounds crazy.
Yeah, man. Oh, there was so many. See, during that time of the comic book series, so there was so many. There was Superman versus Predator. There was,
That's
Alien
wild.
versus Terminator. There was so many crossovers. It was really cool. But yeah, I mean, the as Zalius is saying, they did the RoboCop FPS remake, which is very very. I've played the demo, which was it was great, fantastic. The music and stuff gave me chills. If anybody's a RoboCop fan, they'll understand what I'm saying. But yeah, the OG RoboCop. I'm Zalius again saying OG RoboCop FPS is a bit better, but the remake was still fun. Yeah, no, I agree with that. Terminator Salvation was a good movie. That's Patty in the chat. He's right here and he's in the chat. This guy's multitasking. He said Salvation was a good movie. Yeah, I agree with you, mate. Salvation was a good movie, but Dark Fate. We don't talk about that. Don't mention that again, please. Horrendous.
Yeah, I
And
know
the fact that
Bethesda
we could have
def
gotten a sequel to Salvation. And no,
Look,
we got that instead.
all they needed to do,
Damn,
right?
sure.
I'm sorry, right? I'm quite passionate about this, but all they needed to do, in terms of a Terminator movie, is create a movie that was dedicated to the future war. That would have honestly, I would have threw my money right at that. I would have went to see that. In terms of John Connor leading the resistance, Kyle Reese in there, fighting Skynet, having the original sort of hunter killers, the aerials and the tanks and all that sort of stuff. Honestly, I would pay a lot of money to see that, but James Cameron didn't do it. For some reason, he wasn't game for it, and I think that's one of the biggest L's in movie production. Someone needs to get a hold of that.
Yep.
Have you got
Awkward
static? Have you got
silence.
static?
Yeah.
Come on.
No, we're good. Uh,
Oh, I found it, guys. The game that I played back in the day came out in 2003, and it was Terminator 3: War of the Machines.
Yeah, I had that on
got you.
Xbox. I'm looking at it right now on my what do you call it? My shelf. Yeah, I had that. I remember that. It was very janky. It wasn't that great, but it was okay.
Well, I know Blue is extremely excited for this Terminator game, but me personally, I'm excited for Atomfall. I don't know if you
Ooh.
guys have seen it, but literally 4 hours ago, they just uploaded a new trailer to IGN showcasing. It's titled the official narrated gameplay trailer, and the head of design is actually narrating over the gameplay you see on screen. I'm gonna pull this up real quick. They go over different stuff with the game, like they say that ammo, or they allude to ammo being a bit of a scarcity. So you're gonna have to do a good amount of scavenging around. How different factions work. They don't actually name off any of the factions, but they allude to the fact that there's multiple different potential factions to join up with. There are different people to join up with that are greatly going to impact the story. You know, typical RPG type stuff. There is one aspect of this trailer that I am not necessarily fond of. Let me pull this up so you guys can see it. And I'll let you know when we get to that.
Just saying as well, I hate this. I really do hate this. It's something I moaned about before, but yes, as soon as Rob pulls up, he go ahead, mate.
Yeah, we're okay. So they're going through just kind of showcasing the visuals of the game. I'm liking how it looks. The aesthetics are good so far. The lighting seems pretty solid. Textures high quality. Talking about how people are outside. Let me just skip ahead a little bit. I think this is where he picks up his first gun and shows the condition of the gun is pretty poor. Saying that ammo is a scarcity and make sure to keep your gun loaded at all times. This
This is based in the UK that explains the scarcity of weapons and weapon quality being lackluster.
right, right.
Just I've got a section on this prepared sort of thing, so just let me know when you want to when you want me to hear me start yapping about it.
Got you. We're at the grass section. This is my biggest gripe. We're in the typical stealth grass where it's like waist high. He's crouched down. His head is like clearly above the down grass. I hope that this isn't like one of those games where it kind of forces you through this. I'm so tired of seeing this in games. I feel like it's a kind of a cop out for quote unquote stealth mechanics in a game. At this point, it's kind of feeling more like a cop out. But Blue, what's your thoughts on this whole thing?
It just breaks immersion. It breaks immersion for me. You know,
Yeah.
having that. I've seen it on what was it? What was that really rubbish Star Wars game that just come out? I've seen it on that. I've not played it obviously, but you know, what was it called? Forget it. But it was the
Actually
latest
don't
Star
either.
Wars. It was the latest Star Wars one that you played the female protagonist, and the stealth mechanics were just awful. It's really buggy and stuff. But yeah, it just kind of reminded me of that. However, right, I will just for people that are unaware, right. So Atomfall, it's going to be like a very Fallout style type game. So up and coming survival game from Rebellion Developments, set to launch on March 27th. 2025, and the game will be available to play multiple platforms, all the good stuff, you know, Steam, PlayStation, Xbox, all the good stuff. It's set in alternative 1960s Northern England, so Atomfall immerses players in the quarantine zone established after a nuclear disaster at the Windscale atom plant, and the game's narrative begins 5 years post disaster, with players awakening in a bunker, unaware of their identity or how they arrived there. The objective is to navigate like a hostile environment, you know, kind of like Fallout undercover mysteries surrounding the catastrophe, and piece together the protagonist's past. Now, I thought it would be fun because I've already detailed like a lot of stuff on a previous RawCast, but I'm kind of do you want to talk, Rod? Do you want to talk about the sort of comparison between Atomfall and Fallout in terms of gameplay mechanics and similarities? Shall we kind of touch on that? I'm gonna hit you with a few things that I've kind of researched. You cool with that?
Yeah, go ahead. Actually,
Yeah.
on
So
that note, real quick.
yep.
Who was that? Zalius? Yeah, the stealth crouch in midday thigh high grass is kind of lazy. Yeah. See, I do really enjoy some games that have that. Like The Last of Us even has sections like that, right? If I'm not mistaken, it's not everywhere, but there's sections like that. And
Yeah, I
then
remember
A
it.
Plague Tale. I'm a huge fan of A Plague Tale, Innocence, and Requiem. There's sections in those games too, but I'm just kind of tired of it at this point. Like we're talking, we're 2025 now, you know? Like let's progress on past that a little bit. We can develop stealth mechanics to a bit better state, especially like the new types of AI that are being incorporated into games. Like let's use some of the AI to improve the actual lackluster AI that we've been seeing since the early 2010s, mid 2010s. That's where
Yeah,
I'd
show a bit
rather
of
see it.
immersion. You know,
Not everything needs Far Cry mechanics. Not everything needs to be
Yeah,
open world and stealthy. There's only so many times you can do that.
Patty, you just
yeah.
nearly deafened me, man. What the hell?
First time having a guest on the show. We'll work on it. We'll work
Yeah.
on it.
So I was gonna say, I was gonna talk about, like the, you know, I know a lot. There's a lot of, obviously this is a Fallout orientated channel, but people that should be looking forward to this game, Atomfall, because there's a lot of similarities and mechanics to Fallout. You've got your exploration and your open world survival. It's set in an open world of rural northern England, like I said, 5 years after a catastrophe. And like Fallout, exploration plays a huge role. Players will scavenge abandoned towns, interact with NPCs, uncover hidden stories within the environment. But unlike Fallout's vast wastelands, Atomfall offers more of like a condensed world filled with eerie like countryside villages, isolated bunkers, and cultish settlements. So that'll be really interesting. I mean, a different environment, same sort of vibe in terms of Fallout, but you've got a different environment sort of thing. There's the usual stuff that's going to be going on in terms of resource management and crafting, and then you've got choice-driven narrative and NPC interactions. So we all love those, right? We all love that kind of stuff in our Fallout games. But the combat and stealth mechanics, like Raw touched on, like see the long grass thing, yeah, that's a big no-no for me. But the game encourages multiple playstyles apparently, and combat can be direct. You've got stealth, and there's also a viable option to use light speech and things like that to um, get through certain encounters. But melee weapons and firearms are included. But I think this is going to be more. This is just my opinion, but I think it'll be more focused towards melee weapons because, like Raw touched on, there's like scarce amount of ammo and things like that, and
Right.
creating it is difficult. But I think that kind of, if you like that, kind of leads on to a more tension-filled atmosphere, making like conflict, avoiding it and making smarter choices, a big thing in the game. So like, that'd be interesting to see it works. Like that kind of made me think of Condemned a little bit as well because there was no real guns in Condemned. It was more like melee combat and things like that. But yeah, yeah, it's got massive similarities to Fallout in terms of the post-apocalyptic setting, the morality choices, the survival elements, eerie atmosphere. But yeah, there's something that I when I researched this, I didn't realize it, but it's got so the influences it's got like British horror influence apparently.
Yeah.
Atomfall was inspired by The Wicker Man and The Prisoner. I've seen The Wicker Man, I've not seen The Prisoner creating, but it's saying it's creating a more unsettling and mysterious tone compared to Fallout's often, satirical world, if you like. But it's smaller, more personal story based as well. So instead of a massive wasteland, Atomfall offers more of a intimate and immersive experience, focusing on uncovering the truth behind the actual disaster itself. The whole nuclear bomb thing, and it's got like they've got a wee Stalker 2 thing going on here with subnatural anomalies. So unlike Fallout, which sticks to mutated creatures and sci-fi elements, Atomfall introduces unexplained phenomena that really affect your gameplay in a whole. So yeah, that's interesting. What's your thoughts on some of that stuff, Patty Raw?
I mean, I'm excited for a new kind of Fallout inspired game, like the post apocalyptic. Some people are getting tired of the whole post apocalyptic thing, and I think there was a time frame where it was kind of done to death. But honestly, I'm excited to see something new, especially being not in the US. Like this having a lot of inspiration. I can clearly see a lot of inspiration being taken from the like British horror stuff like you were talking about, or UK horror, like
Yeah,
and We Happy
yeah,
Few.
yeah.
I've said before that this game has a lot of inspiration from We Happy Few. Every time I watch these trailers, I can see more of it. I feel like this has potential. Like, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's necessarily going to be anything groundbreaking, nothing revolutionary, but I think this could be a fun experience. And if I'm not mistaken, this game is releasing at the $50 price tag as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think $50 is a fair entryway to this game.
Sean in the dead cricket, but yeah, totally party. Sorry, I'm just going to answer a question on chat. So Fallout Helper saying, what we need is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 remaster graphics are looking kind of dated already. Wow, that's
Slash
yeah.
sarcasm.
Well,
No, this straight up sarcasm because we've been covering that a lot over here. About we're
all
tired
right,
of the
okay, I
constant
understand.
remakes of games that don't need it. Yeah,
Yeah, okay, I get it. Okay.
straight up sarcasm. Oh, they
But
got
yeah,
the
the game
rats too.
I'm looking at the the trailer footage that you're just showing on screen right now, and yeah, it looks good. I mean, it's like it's very it's more like sort of vibrant environment, you know, in terms of the countryside and stuff you're going to be operating in, as opposed to like your wasteland and Fallout, the Fallout series in general, really. But yeah, be interesting. It'd be interesting to play. But I'm really interested to see the uh how the mechanics operate in terms of melee combat and obviously the scarcity of the ammo. That's going to be quite interesting to see how it plays out, because me personally, I do like my guns, my rifles and
Right.
pistols and stuff like that. And if I can't use those often, then I'm going to be a bit disappointed, because I don't want to be relying on too much, you know, melee combat.
You say
I like
that
my
as
sniper
he
rifle.
starts beating the hell out of everybody.
Yeah,
It's just
I
non-stop
see that
melee
now.
combat.
Yeah, I see it now. Cricket bats everywhere.
Yeah, I'm
I,
excited for the
I
game. Oh,
wanted
go ahead.
to say something negative about the game at first, but then if I think about it, right, usually we've had two primary places that we've seen post-apocalyptic games, and it's either in America or over somewhere in like the Russian Ukrainian region with like Stalker and the Metro series. We haven't really had other countries um, in a post-apocalyptic setting, and I think seeing the
Fallout,
UK,
Fallout London.
like,
Yeah,
I mean, there is Fallout London, but seeing like a
a quote-unquote
a game that's
full-fledged
its own
game.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, seeing like
Yeah,
that isn't just like a huge mod, but seeing its own game. I think it has potential, but I don't know. I guess we'll have to just see.
yeah, no, I get it. I get it, Pat. I get your point. And it'd be just interesting to have another take. I've always wanted a sort of post-apocalyptic Scotland. I've always dreamed of that. I wanted a game that where I could relate, because that's kind of frustrating for me. It's like you guys in the US and things like that, like, you know, Fallout 3, Washington DC, and all that kind of stuff, and people can relate to it and think it, like, you know, be awed by the fact that it's a place where you have potentially been, or you know, you're familiar with, whereas I've not really had that. I've not really had that in terms of post-apocalyptic, excuse me, post-apocalyptic games where I can relate to certain areas. Fallout London is probably the closest. I've been in London, obviously. I think Paul could back me up here, because he was from, I want to say Islington, if that's correct, Paul. Sorry if I doxed you. You're obviously in Canada now, right? But no, yeah, the that sort of thing kind of appeals to me, where having that familiarity and seeing somewhere that you live or you are close by, desolated, and you know, sort of, you know, just completely destroyed, really, and you're there to sort of explore that landscape and deal with the horrors that come along with it. But yeah, no, Patty, I agree, man. It's really it's interesting to see the games, like, you know, kind of got you getting you away from regular or more common environments and themes, right?
Right, and there is the Mad Max game series, which I think is set in
Oh
Australia,
yeah.
but I think this will have a lot more potential than the Mad Max games, because they're more car based travel and stuff like that. Where this one I think just has a little bit more potential than the Mad Max games did.
Mad Max was a completely slip-on game. Like it's probably been covered to death at this point too. It's nothing revolutionary. Kind of like what I was saying about what was that? Oh, Mr. Fallout Helper, thank you very much, sir, with the super fat $1.10 super chat, making that his 10th super chat on stream. My man, thank you very much, Mr. Fallout Helper. I appreciate you.
Nice one, Fallout Helper. Oh, and he's saying it's for you, Blue. Thank you very much. That's going to Raw. Don't worry, it's going to Raw. But no, I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Fallout Helper. Legend, absolutely legend for donating that cash. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something, but I've completely forgot my train of thought. Yeah, no, I mean, it's just refreshing to see other sort of directions in terms of environment and scenarios that post-apocalyptic games like Patty touched on. You know, it's quite nice to see that we're going in different directions and having sort of relatable environments. In terms of myself, I'm talking personally here. I'm saying because I've been to where this is set, you know, the Lake Districts and stuff like that. I've drove through it multiple times when I've been, moving about in the military and things like that. So yeah, no, it'd be really cool to see, and I'm all for it.
Messed up. Well, see, Bud. Okay, real quick. We were talking about this earlier on in the stream. I'm not entirely sure if you were here during that section, but just to jump back to that conversation real fast. Those decisions were executive decisions, including the microtransactions in that, the offline single player loot box mechanics. That yeah, that was complete BS. But that's nothing that Monolith even had say over. That was Warner Brother Games, and that's what we were touching on earlier. Warner Brother has been making terrible financial decision after terrible decision, and they have such potential, and they got amazing studios with amazing IPs, and they have money printing machines that they're abusing and neglecting. Like that, yeah, yeah. It's Warner Brothers. Yeah, yeah.
No, but sorry, Ro. I'm just yeah. I think we can all say, and I think I speak on behalf of a lot of people that we're quite excited for Atomfall's like different direction. Like I touched on. In terms of environment and stuff like that, it should be something kind of refreshing. And although, have you guys ever played Tainted Grail: Fall of Avalon?
Dude, you know what's crazy? Since you've been talking about that, I've actually been seeing a lot of stuff pop up on my YouTube feed, and I've been checking it out a little bit. I'm actually really interested in it. Like, I really do want to get around to playing that.
I think, right? And
Oh,
now,
here he goes.
I'm not.
Here he goes.
I'm not. I think, right?
He gets his 10% with every sale.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm shelling like a mother. I can't swear. I'm shelling like mad. Nah, I'm not shelling at all. I just like the game. I'm just passionate about the game. Again, please, if you've got a Skyrim itch or a Oblivion itch, or a Elder Scrolls game itch in general, check it out. Just have a look at it, because it is a very, very good game. I highly recommend it. And if anybody's listening, that's involved in Tainted Grail Avalon, I could do some, I could do some, publicity and things like that, promotion. Just slip me a few bob, slip me a few quid. All right,
What I'm
guys.
saying. Jesus.
Yeah.
What we got next? If you guys have anything else to say about Atomfall, please go ahead and drop that if you guys are interested in it. Drop a fat W1 for Mr. Fallout Helper, and then drop a fat A if you guys are interested in us covering Atomfall on the channel. Any donations between now and then are actually going straight toward the Atomfall fund. Up next.
So Fallout Helper, sorry, just saying Fallout Helper's he's got to go. Good luck with the blue cast. Thanks, mate. No, but take it easy, mate. Appreciate the donation, but it's going straight to Raw. But thank you very much.
Yeah, take care of yourself, Mr. Helper. Thank you again, sir. Blue, I know that you were super excited about this one. I cannot remember who it was. Somebody just yesterday asked me about this game. The new Yakuza game. What's it called? Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. The name is absurd, but the trailer for this game is even more absurd somehow. I'm gonna pull this up if you want to take over.
Yeah, this game is just, I mean, it's, if I'm going to use the word insane, I'm using it right now.
Right.
Insane. No, it's just over the top. So the game, Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, 2025 game, obviously just come out. It's receiving very, very positive reviews. Adventure game developed by Raiga Got. Oh God, I'm going to butcher this. Raiga Gotoku Studio, right? That's
Killed
my
it.
best attempt. Yeah, nailed it. Published by Sega, right? There you go.
Right.
It serves as a spin-off to Like a Dragon, Like a Dragon series. The game centers on Goro. Oh my God, these names. I'm not going to. I'm going to say. I'm going to call him Goro, right?
Okay.
So who, after losing his memory, becomes a pirate captain in Hawaii. Ridiculous, right? Released. It was released on February 21st. For PlayStation 5, all the good stuff, Xbox, PC, all it is. But the narrative begins with Goro washing up ashore on a Hawaiian beach, suffering from amnesia, embracing his new identity. He leads a pirate crew on a quest for hidden treasures. The game explores themes of identity, transformation, blending the criminal underworld with pirate lore. So, yeah, it's you just look at the trailer or you look at the gameplay footage and it's mental. It's just it looks just like a game that you can jump into. There's no real well, I was going to say no real story or stuff, but there obviously is a story. But it's a game that's just so far fetched and easy to get into. And yeah, it's just I mean the gameplay itself, Return to the series, it's a beat 'em up with roots. Players can switch between two fighting styles. The Swift Mad Dog and the dual Cutlass Wheel and Sea Dog. Notable addition to this game is the ability to perform mid-air attacks, combos, beyond land combat. So it's like a really insane version of Assassin's Creed Black Flag, brought to the modern era, but with all sorts of stuff in there. You can manage a pirate ship, engage in naval battles, sorry, board an enemy vessel, ship management, adds layers of RPG stuff, requiring players to recruit and assign members for your crew, upgrade ship components. I mean, you could put laser guns on your ship. That's how stupid it is. Do you know what I mean? Maintain morale through your crew and through gifts and parties and stuff like that. You've got loads of side activities, mini games. The visuals look great. Set across diverse, places, rich islands. The game feels like it just looks very, very vibrant, should I say? Environments that enhance it, tropical pirate theme. The graphics and performance are noted to be exceptional, which is great. A game that released and you can actually play the game without it being an FPS like dumpster fire. I just use dumpster fire. What am I doing?
Kingdom Come
Oh
Deliverance 2 did the
God.
same thing, sir.
He did. They did. Yeah, they did. Absolutely. But yeah, the game itself, like I said, is very positive on Steam right now. Take that for what you will. But yeah, and somebody Like a Dragon in Hawaii offers a kind of unique blend of pirate adventure and the classic Like a Dragon formula, while excels in excuse me, and side content, character engagement. The main narrative may not resonate as strongly with all players, but it just looks like you jump in to have a fun experience and a fun game. I mean, chat, Raw, Patty, what do you make of that from what you've seen and what I've talked about?
This looks to me exactly what I've been talking about with the PlayStation 2, why the PlayStation 2 era was one of my favorite times in gaming. This looks like a game that's just coming out, trying new stuff, kind of throwing in stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks and just trying to make it a fun experience. This is one of those games that it doesn't take itself too serious. It's just there for a fun
Yeah,
time. That's what it looks like. I don't have experience with the Yakuza games, to be entirely honest with you. I've never played a single one of them. I know people have a really strong affinity toward those games. Like, for the most part, from what I've heard, people seem to really enjoy them, but this thing just looks over the top goofy, but in a potentially good way.
yeah. It's like you said. I think it's just something that I think the guys that have created this just went. We're just gonna go like balls to the wall with this. We're just gonna do what we want and create a game that's like over the top, fun, and like the best thing you said is not taking itself too seriously. It doesn't look like there's going to be any like major politics involved in this, is there? You know,
I hope to God not. Oh, Lord. Not in this one.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't really have much else to add here. I'm kind of excited for it. If you guys want us to eventually get this on the channel, definitely let me know either here in the comment section live or on Discord if you guys have any interest in this. This looks like it may be something fun to mess around with.
It's Yakuza being Yakuza, and you can't go wrong with that.
See,
Yeah, there you go. There's your review.
guess take that from someone that knows.
Yep. I'll go with that.
Last but not least, we've talked to you guys before about introducing a movie segment, and I think that zombies would probably be the greatest introduction to this that we could possibly get. Actually, Blue, do you want to... what are we titling this? Do we even have a name for this? It's work in progress.
It's just like, okay, so I suggested it on our previous, it wasn't a RawCast, it was one of your live streams. So, I wanted to just sort of talk about, because I know a lot of people in here, in the chat and like our community and stuff have got similar sort of taste in movies and games and things like that. But I just felt that it'd be cool to introduce a section where maybe we could talk about movies, and that's very, like, Zelius has nailed it straight away. We've got, look at this. Have you been reading my script, Zelius? He's already nailed it.
Exactly.
He's got 28 days. He's got 20 days. Dawn of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead. So, that being said, right, I just wanted to talk about this is my little section that I'm going to be quite passionate about. I'm going to yap, right? So get ready for a bit of yapping from Blue.
God.
So here we go. I just want to talk about how zombie movies have influenced so many video games, and I want to talk about the great late George A. Romero. He's up in the sky now. He's not with us, but he was the guy that created the first sort of he was the father of the zombie movie. So he created Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, Land of the Dead, and I think the other one was called Diary of the Dead, if I remember correctly. But he was basically the godfather of the zombie franchise. And I just got thinking, I was just like, how many video games have been influenced by this guy? In his movies, and I'm just having a look now and just quite like in awe. Like, think of the games that this guy's influenced. So there's the Resident Evil franchise, Silent Hill, Left 4 Dead, Call of Duty Zombies, even The Last of Us, the Walking Dead game itself. The point and click one. There's State of Decay, Dead Rising. It just made me think, like, I'm just naming like some Alone in the Dark as an older one as well, 1992, that I used to play. But World War Z, Days Gone, Dead Island, these games would not be possible. They wouldn't exist if it wasn't for George A. Romero and his brilliant ones. DayZ, Project Zomboid, 7 Days to Die. It just blew my mind. It's crazy how much of an influence this guy and his movies created so many brilliant zombie games. And I'm a massive zombie buff. I love it. You've got even if we're talking movies, we've got Shaun of the Dead. Classic. We talked about. I think Patty touched on the reference with the cricket bat earlier on, but the influence of this guy, the games he created, like the Resident Evil games, were some of the first games I played on the PlayStation 1. If I remember correctly. I think Resident Evil 2 was out on the PlayStation 1 and Resident Evil 1. But like seeing that stuff, it blew my mind. But I remember Paul's just saying in the chat, and he just kind of took the words out of my mouth. So Night of the Living Dead is groundbreaking. It was. And I'll tell you, my experience of Night of the Living Dead, right, was I came in drunk as a teenager. I think I must have been about 15, 16, right? Turned on the TV and it was on black and white. It was black and white movie. And I watched it and I was just sat in absolute, like, I was gobsmacked. I was like, what is this? And there was a remake as well. If anybody knows of the absolute legend that is Tom Savini, he's the guy that does all the special effects and squibs and things like that. He's like a gore master. It's a legend to this day as well. But he remade Night of the Living Dead. There was a remake of that. not a remaster, a remake, right? Let's let me get this straight. And then there was obviously Dawn of the Dead that came out after, and that was the bad boy. If anybody remembers Dawn of the Dead, and I'm talking about the original with the guys that are holed up in the mall, there was a remake of that as well with faster zombies. But yeah, all those films, have influenced so much stuff. They've got what do you call it? Movie Brad Pitt. That escapes me now.
World War Z.
That's it.
Oh
Thanks,
yeah,
Patty.
gotcha.
What was he? And at the time in the cinema, that was one of the first films that had, I actually put 3D glasses on. Remember that? Putting 3D glasses on in the cinema to get that 3D effect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
red and
yeah.
blue.
Yeah, man. And Paul's just said that the remake had Tony Todd in it. Yeah, the great Tony Todd, excellent man. But I just wanted to chat about the influence, how George A. Romero has masterminded pretty much a lot of zombie films, and I think who was it? It was Alias again. It was commenting on. He was listing a lot of great zombie movies that I was there. Yeah, so he said 28 Days Later, not technically a zombie movie, like they're infected. One of my bugbears, just getting that straight. But yeah, Train to Busan was another great one as well. The zombies couldn't see in the dark, if I remember correctly. That was so good. I mean, like the Koreans don't mess about when they make zombie movies, do they?
No.
they are spot on. But yeah, as you can tell, I'm quite passionate about zombie movies and how they influence games. I just wanted to add a section in there. And I just think that so many games that I played, like Dead Rising was another one. In that mall and having the amount of zombies that were on screen at the time, that was quite revolutionary and groundbreaking. Excuse me, just clearing the throat. But yeah, that sort of stuff kind of fascinated me a lot. What's your take? I mean, can you, Patty, Rob, what's the zombie games that you really appreciate that you played?
Call of Duty Zombies has a huge place in my heart. Hopefully Hatchet Man will be able to join us soon so we can play that on stream. Uh, I mean, Call of Duty Zombies definitely Left 4 Dead. I actually had a decent time with World War Z Aftermath. I think that's what it was called. I had a decent time with that. It wasn't anything special, but it was a little bit of fun. Call of Duty
Oh
probably
man,
definitely has the deepest connection in my heart, though.
I just see you putting up you've got sorry, my stream's behind, but I just see you showcasing some of the zombie movies. Honestly, like that warms my heart. And there's Captain Rhodes.
Yeah.
There he is. There's my man.
I thought you
There's
liked
my
that.
man right there. Yes, get in. Yeah, 'cause he's got one of the most iconic death scenes in any movie. He gets ripped apart by multiple zombies with the iconic "Choke on 'em" line. Honestly, that's still uttered to this day. You've got I'm just watching Resident Evil 2. I think that's in the background as well. But yeah, so many good games that I played, influenced by the great George A. Romero, and it's just it's fantastic to see. Excuse me.
What about you, Patty?
I didn't
My
play a
bad.
lot of the
Okay.
mainstream games, zombie games. I played a lot of the Flash games though, and games like The Last Stand, Road of the Dead, and a whole bunch of other ones were really fun games to play. Especially Road of the Dead, because it was like the first driving Flash game that I ever played, and being able to run over zombies was really fun. And can we talk about that weird era from like 2007, 2008, where like zombie ammo and like anti-zombie guns was a big thing? What was that? Does anyone else remember that? Like in the gun community, like zombie stuff was a big craze where everything was all like green and stuff and was like good against zombies. Like what was that?
I can't remember
No
that, to be
idea,
honest,
bro.
Patty. I'm at the loop on that one, to be fair. What I was gonna say is like, you know, going back from, the zombies, like going on to like carrying on, should I say, talking about the zombie stuff. A lot of zombie stuff actually is related and is referenced in the Fallout franchise. See like ghouls
Yeah.
as zombies. I just thought I'd touch on that. Because in Fallout, ghouls like like they are quite prevalent in the Fallout franchise, aren't they? They've been in from the first ones. Well, not undead. They're irradiated humans who have like decayed into grotesque, mindless creatures. But it's just like Romero's zombies in appearance and function. Like you've got your feral ghouls that behave exactly like classic Romero zombies, slow but relentless, attacking anything that moves. And you've got the intelligent ghouls as well, can reflect Romero's later work, like the film I love, Day of the Dead, where some zombies, like Bub, if anybody's seen the movie, show signs of intelligence and self-awareness and that. And the idea of the plague spreading and turning people into monsters is similar to viral / zombie outbreaks tropes seen in Romero-inspired games like Resident Evil. I can rattle off, but the post-apocalyptic theme, like Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and Day of the Dead, Fallout focuses on, and this is interesting, focuses on humans struggling to survive rather than just fighting monsters. If you get what I'm saying, the game showcase factions vying for power, echoing the paranoia and infighting seen in Romero films. So like there's an interlink there a little bit. You've got safe zones like vaults or settlements resemble like the survival enclaves Romero's stories. For example, the farmhouse in Night of the Living Dead and the shopping mall of Dawn of the Dead. So I think there's influences in the Fallout games as well. Does that make sense? I think I don't want to be looking too much into it, but I think a lot of it does really sort of relate and correlate. But Romero's movies have always had a deeper message about, like, loads of stuff in terms of critique of American culture, power struggles, humanity as the real enemy and not the zombies themselves. Just like in Romero's world, where Fallout often portrays humans as worse than the monsters, raiders, corrupt leaders, and power-hungry organizations causing more suffering than the actual ghouls themselves. And you've got the sort of survival horror elements as well, where Fallout is more of an RPG than a survival game. I get it, but moments like the vault horror stories, many vaults in Fallout tell tragic tales similar to Romero movies, where survivors turn on each other due to fear, madness, or hunger. Dark, abandoned locations like the Dunwich building, Fallout 3, massive horror elements in there. Vault 22, and Fallout New Vegas have eerie, like horror-inspired vibes reminiscent of Romero's claustrophobic settings and zombie outbreaks within the world. There's been countless mods, like the zombie mods that you can build a settlement and fend off zombies. But missions like Fallout 3's 10-penny tower quest, where ghouls try to invade a wealthy settlement, echo Romero's themes of classic conflict. And I just thought that'd be an interesting thing to talk about. There's so many like sort of correlations in terms of Romero, the zombie theme towards the Fallout theme. I know I'm yapping. I'm sorry. I'll let you guys talk. But yeah, I just thought it'd be really interesting. What do you guys think? Chat, Raw, Patty.
We owe a whole lot to George Romero, honestly. Like you were saying, he's a visionary. Well, he was a visionary. May he rest in peace. We owe a lot to him. I don't know if they were entirely inspired by him, like during the making of Fallout, but I definitely see the connection, like how his work has influenced all forms of media, like progressing on from there. He definitely revolutionized the zombies type experience, introducing the flesh eaters, giving, like you said, giving more of a focus on a narrative experience compared to just like movies back before him. I'm not really familiar with the movie scene as much as you are, clearly, Blue, but movies before Romero were more just like trying to survive, right? Like that's what it was. There wasn't really much deeper narrative to any of the movies. They didn't really explore morality or anything like that, right? He's the one that kind of
I don't know, mate, because there's a lot of morality things, particularly in Dawn of the Dead, because you probably not like seen the movies recently or whatever, but just to kind of counter what you say, I get what you're saying, but a lot of the time I'll give you an example right now. So in Dawn of the Dead, the original, the shopping mall, the zombies in that shopping mall were portrayed, the zombies were slow shufflers that were like essentially sheep, and they would just go about like the zombies that were in that mall came back to that mall because I'm trying to explain this. So like the last memories of these zombies, they've got slight recollection of what they did and past the past life before they died, right? So
Right.
they're shuffling about, and there's like a contrast, and you can see it was kind of like portrayed during COVID, where you've seen like these people just doing stupid things and overloading, buying stuff like that wasn't required, and just acting like zombies, and it was like a kind of expression of society as a whole. Right? Do you get what I'm saying? So there was a lot of that. Romero was clever with that. It showed you the zombies were, human. Well, they were dead, but they still had like the sort of human aspects of these people that just go about their normal day and just go by the numbers, if you know what I mean. That's the
Right.
kind of angle he was going for in terms of that. Whereas I get your point as well. It was all about survival as well, but it also showed how desperate the survivors were to do whatever was needed to, because you had in Dawn of the Dead, I remember like you had the sort of good guys, the characters that holed up in the mall and built up a safe house, but then you had the guys on the outside, the biker gang that show up eventually as well. They show up and they're just out there to obviously they're essentially raiders from Fallout, the Fallout franchise. They come in, just kill everything, kill the zombies, and just loot stuff. There's like a stupid scene where they break into the mall. These are the raiders, or the guys, the bikers that I'm talking about. They come in, and one of them picks up a TV, and another raider turns around to them and says, "What are you going to watch on that?" Do you know what I mean? It's like this society is broken down, and this guy's trying to grab a TV.
Right.
Like, what are you doing? So I think it's just a great way of it was Romero's clever way of showing how society can break down and how they can basically turn into mindless animals, I guess, like zombie stuff.
Sure, getting eaten is scary, but what about people that don't obey laws anymore because their laws are swept off the table because of what's happening?
Yeah, that's
That's
just
true
exactly.
horror.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is exactly. That's the sort of point I was trying to make. It's like these raider gangs and stuff like that, because society collapses, they think they can just do what they want and do it, and it's scary. You see it. You've seen it, and you've seen little aspects of it. And when COVID first hit, when people started panic buying and things like that, people were just that was a scary thing. I agree 100% with you, Patty. It's that's what kind of freaks me out. It's human nature, isn't it? This RawCast has gone deep, right?
It did something.
yeah,
it
no,
went
it's
off the rails.
interesting.
No.
Yeah.
No, go ahead, Blue. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I think I'm passionate about the subject, the zombie films and how they've influenced games and things like that. I just like I just love George Romero's. I would love to dive into his mind. You know what I mean? He's be a fly in the wall when he's sat writing these things, because creative is an understatement, right? He's created the things that he's sort of put across and people have copied and admired and sort of remastered or whatever, remade. It's just really it's kind of inspiring. It makes me want to delve deep into that sort of stuff. And like there's some of the zombie movies that I've watched. There's one that just sprung to mind there, called Dead Meat, and everybody should watch this. It's on YouTube. It's free to watch on YouTube. It's called Dead Meat. It's an Irish zombie film, and it's a B movie, right? So it's so rubbish that it's funny. Do you know what I mean? But it's worth a watch. So like it's kind of slow moving zombie ones as well. But Inner Voids just said he loved Dead Island. I had a conversation with a friend about Dead Island. The trailer for Dead Island is one of the best things I've ever seen. Do you remember it? You seen the trailer for Dead Island? It's in reverse. The girl's like on the grass, and she rises up as she's thrown out of the apartment block by the zombies. Like and the mother and father are fighting the zombie. That was. Oh, I still watch that to this day. It was remade, actually. I don't know if I've touched on this in previous podcasts, but it was remade with live actors and things like that by, I can't remember who it was. It was Machinima. Remember that studio, Australian studio? They did it, I think. I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong, but yeah, that's definitely worth a watch. But yeah, I will end this segment and just say I love zombie movies, guys, right? And I love zombie games influenced by movies. So there you go. There's my yapping and rambling about zombie stuff.
You're good, bro. You guys let us know in Discord what you guys would like us to cover next week or during the next broadcast, whenever that may be, for the movie segment. Let us know what type of topic you would like us to kind of delve into on that one. Any type of genre, any specific movies, any characters from movies. Let us know that in Discord, please. Yeah, I think that about wraps it up. We covered quite a bit today, honestly. We got the whole
I'm not
issue.
gonna lie.
Huh?
I'm not gonna lie. Sorry, Rob, to interrupt, but I'm not gonna lie to chat here and the viewers and stuff. But we were struggling prior to the stream. We were like,
Yeah.
"What is going on?
Yeah.
What is going on?" There's not much going on. So we've been yapping, and to consider we've been going for this long is quite an achievement, right? Because we were just we were really scraping at the barrel with a lot of stuff. But I hope you guys have been interested and enjoyed our little segments. But yeah, we were
Oh my
struggling.
God.
We were struggling.
Oh, I'm so
it's just
sorry, Anthro. He just made it. This is the first time he's made it to a RawCast too. He made it right at the
no.
end. Rip. Well, if it makes you feel any better, you only made it because we went over the allotted time technically. Like we try to shoot for like an hour, but we've been live like an hour 20ish now.
Oh my God, I just seen 83 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
That's what special co-host does.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it, man. Everyone's here to see a party.
Yeah, we covered the Warner Brothers games issues, closing Monolith Studios down, making even more poor financial decisions. Fallout TV show leaks, the Terminator game coming up, Blue's pretty excited for. Atomfall,
Yep.
which I think most of us are excited for. The Yakuza game, that looks absolutely absurd, but kind of fun at the same time. And first introduction to movies on the channel. Definitely let us know in the RawCast tab on Discord what you guys would like us to cover during the next RawCast, and if you like the special guest host. I can't say it's going to be a every RawCast thing, but we'll definitely make this a thing more often. And channel members, look at potentially letting channel members join up on a RawCast, having a little raffling for that if you guys are interested. Yeah, that's going to be it for us today. This is the RawCast, all things games and now movies related. I'm Raw Tactics, joined with True Blue and Patty Dunn did it. Love each and every one of you guys. You guys stay active, stay healthy, stay hydrated, and we will catch you on a stream shortly after this. Can't say exactly how long, but I'll be live again soon.
And remember,
go ahead, Patty. Sorry.
Don't forget to make the kingdom come.
Yes, please. Please. Just clean up after yourself.
Yeah, clean up after yourself. And my conclusion to this is, remember, everybody, do you know Ellie's gay? Ellie's gay,
Oh my
right?
God.
Also, wait a minute. Buy Tainted Grail,
Yay.
Fall of Avalon. Yeah, do that. And peace. Thank you, everyone. See you later.
Y'all take care. We out.
Bye-bye.